Good afternoon, and welcome to the AgSouth 2021 annual meeting. I'm Hugh Weathers, and I have the privilege to serve as chairman of the AgSouth Board of Directors this year. It's an honor to be here to conduct this meeting. So I hereby declare that the annual stockholders meeting of AgSouth Farm Credit is now called to order. And to begin, I'll offer an invocation for us. Heavenly Father, we come to you in prayer and ask your blessings on this meeting. We thank you for the blessings on our association, on its staff and their families, and on our customers and their loved ones as well. We count it as a privilege to be stewards of the soil and of your creation. Guide us as we undertake the business of AgSouth. We pray for your wisdom to lead us, and that our outcomes are in accordance with your will. Lord, lead us through challenging times of this pandemic, as you have promised your rod and your staff to help us through valleys like the one we find ourselves in. For those on the front line of health care, we ask that you give them strength beyond their own abilities. We close our prayer by praising you and asking your forgiveness when we fall short. And we come to you in the name of Christ our Lord. Amen. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I'd like to welcome you to this meeting. Thank you for taking time to participate. Now, due notice was mailed to the stockholders on record as of June 30th, 2021. The minutes of the 2020 stockholders meeting have been posted on the annual meeting website and distributed to stockholders for this meeting. Are there any additions or deletions to the minutes? If not, we'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the 2020 annual stockholder meeting.
I move we approve.
All right, is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Second to that motion. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Appears the ayes have it, and the minutes for the 2020 annual stockholder meeting stand approved. Now, it's my privilege to give you a brief director's report. This report will give you an overall assessment of your association. I'll make a few comments regarding patronage and the association's financials, and you'll hear a more detailed report later. I'll talk to you about your board composition and committee structure, and make a few remarks about the overall condition of agriculture as it relates to our charter territory in Georgia and South Carolina. Your board carries out several key responsibilities on behalf of the association's stockholders. They are to ensure your association is run in a safe and sound manner, to establish policies and procedures that ensure an efficient operation, as well as providing oversight and accountability of your association's financial reporting. We strive to carry out our responsibilities and to make all decisions in the best interest of you, the stockholders, and to do this with the highest ethical standards. Your board strives to meet the needs of current customers as well as future customers. 2020 was a strong earnings year. Core earnings continued to provide strong return on assets and equity, and were sufficient to pay a good patronage and maintain our 5-year revolvement that we enjoy as customers. At this point, we believe that a strong earnings will be in 2021 as well, and we will be able to continue the patronage payments. It is the goal of your board to monitor expenses, earnings, and loan performance to ensure that we reward our current customers and our past equitably. Your board seeks to maintain a solid capital base to ensure a foundation for growth, as well as a cushion for any adversity, and a basis for strong, consistent earnings in the future. Your board and the cooperative have taken significant steps to serve our members during the COVID-19 pandemic. In June of 2020, the board declared an additional $8 million cash patronage distributed of association's profits back to you, the members. This was in addition to the record-breaking $39 million received earlier in 2020. This year, the board just recently declared a $10 million special cash patronage in addition to the $40 million distributed earlier. It is the board's hope that these distributions of association profits will help support our members and the rural communities we serve during these difficult and uncertain times. Now let me tell you a little bit about your board. It consists of 14 directors, 12 elected by you, the stockholders, and 2 appointed outside directors. The board has established committees to ensure that the appropriate amount of time is given on each of our critical issues. Here are our committees. We have audit, risk management, governance and ethics, and executive and compensation. The audit committee serves the responsibility to oversee the internal controls of financial reporting, as well as internal and external audits, along with reviewing audits and exams. And it approves the financial information that's distributed to the stockholders. The risk committee establishes policies to direct the credit department and control associated risks of the association. The governance committee ensures an equitable stockholder representation and that the association bylaws are in sync with the regulations we must follow. The executive and compensation committee oversees the general operation of the association and including our physical facilities and our branch locations, along with establishing compensation practices for the staff. Now, a few comments about our industry. Agriculture continues to be a volatile industry. I don't have to tell you that. While crop conditions and markets are currently generally good across the association, continuing challenges such as the potential for price volatility, increasing trade concerns, and unpredictable weather patterns continue to demand our attention. Despite these challenges, credit quality in your association remains high, and most producers have been able to manage through recent adversity. We realize there will always be stress in our portfolio. Your association is well positioned to face these challenging conditions with you, our members. The strength of a cooperative like AgSouth starts with its customers. As such, your board of directors wants to keep lines of communication open. On the AgSouth website, you are able to submit suggestions and comments directly to the board. As we have in the past, I can assure you that your board values the questions and comments, and they will get the full attention of the board. AgSouth has always dedicated itself to helping you, the customer, by successfully meeting your credit needs. Given the volatility of our agricultural economy, we believe we have the processes in place to both provide the credit and other services, as well as generating profits to build a strong organization and return those profits back to you. We appreciate your continued business with the association and look forward to working with you another successful year. Now, part of our responsibilities is to manage and talk about nominations, so let me do that now. The 2021 nominating committee met, and committee chairman Mark Brown has provided the following report, which I will give you. The 2021 nominating committee met on May 26th and on June 8th of this year to fulfill its duties in making nominations for candidates to stand for election to the board of directors, as well as the 2022 nominating committee. Members of your nominating committee attending were Mark Brown, Chairman, Baron Bazard, J. Emmett Collins, L. Anthony Coward, Brian Dantzler, Samuel Milford, and Thomas Van Huss. The function of the nominating committee is set forth in section 340.2 of the association bylaws. Let me read those. The nominating committee shall review lists of members who are eligible to serve as directors. The nominating committee shall ascertain the willingness of eligible directors to serve and shall submit for election a slate of such members to run as candidates for the board. Members of the nominating committee cannot be nominated for director positions. The election slate shall, except as provided, include at least 2 nominees for each position to be filled. Based on bylaw number 420.1, the committee was tasked with allocating 3 4-year terms and 1 1-year term to the 4 seats up for election this year. Following those instructions, your committee carefully studied qualifications of eligible stockholders, and they make the following recommendations. For Region 1, Seat 1, Arthur Q. Black. Also, Jeffrey C. Jordan. For Region 2, Seat 2, Sean F. Lennon, as well as Gregory S. Heisen. For Region 2, Seat 3, Wesley Ham and Michael Lowry. For Region 3, Seat 1, Pete Wall and James K. Kenny Hicks. Those are your nominations for the board. Members selected to serve on the 2022 nominating committee of AgSouth are, from Region 1, Samuel Milford and Barron R. Bazar. From Region 2, James Emmett Collins Jr. and Thomas G. Van Huss. Region 3, L. Anthony Cowart and Mark H. Brown. And finally, for Region 4, Adair M. McCoy IV and Brian R. Dantzler. We have alternates on the nominating committee, and they are Region 1, Travis G. Doolittle and Bonnie Can. Region 2, William E. Cunningham and Kenneth L. Chapman. Region 3, Jack A. Brannon Jr. and Don I. Burke. Region 4, F. H. Dix III and Bates R. Houck. This concludes the report of the 2021 nominating committee. This report is submitted to the stockholders on behalf of the 2021 nominating committee, and we thank them for their work. Now, Mr. Pat Calhoun is our association CEO, and he'll now give you some highlights from last year and talk about some expected results for 2021. Pat?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One of the highlights of my year each year is being able to stand and provide this report to the stockholders and tell you how your association is doing. So I'll ask you to give your attention to these next few slides and our discussion about the successes AgSouth has enjoyed over the last year. First, we'll talk about our gross loans outstanding, and our gross loan volume has increased over the years. You can see beginning in 2017 all the way through 2020, where we ended at $2.3 million. So far through the second quarter of 2021, we're at about $2.34 million, which exceeds our budget, and we expect to have a strong gross loan growth for 2021. Net loans likewise see a positive movement in growth over the 5 years that are represented in this chart. We ended 2020 at about $1.9 billion, and we are far surpassing that right now at $1.973 billion at the end of the second quarter. We expect to see a slight decline in that volume as operating loans and agricultural loans are repaid in the fourth quarter, but nevertheless we do expect to exceed our budget goal for 2020 this year. Net loan growth, thanks to you, our customers, has been strong in 2021 so far. The association also makes rural residential loans and sells those loans into the secondary market. We originate those loans, and then investors purchase these transactions from the association. It is somewhat counterintuitive, the spike that we saw in this level of in this activity in 2020, we sold $264 million of home loans into the secondary market in 2020. Progress year to date is strong as well, at about $150 million so far through 6 months. Again, we anticipate exceeding our budget. We've been in a very flat interest rate environment for some period of time, and you've all read and heard about the boom in residential transactions. Your secondary market team at AgSouth has enjoyed the fruits of that boom as well. Chairman Weathers mentioned credit quality earlier. The success of this cooperative starts with you, our customers, and our customers have been able to maintain fairly strong balance sheets and income statements throughout the last couple of years. Our credit quality is a reflection of the strength of our customers, and as you can see, we've been maintaining 98 or 99% acceptable credit quality over the 5-year trend. We expect to be at or close to our budget for this year. We have not seen substantial declines in credit quality or increases in delinquency over the last 6 months, and we hope that that trend will continue as well. Delinquencies, as mentioned, have been very manageable over the last several years. This year is no exception. You can look there in June of 2021, delinquent loans represented 0.29% of the total portfolio. Again, a very strong showing by our customers in being able to repay their obligations to the association, and we do expect that trend to continue as well. We are currently enjoying very strong portfolio performance is the key of those last 2 slides. Other items impacting our income are fee income. The association makes fees on a variety of products that we sell. Not only loans, but secondary market transaction and other sources provide fees to the association. You can see we had a very strong 2020 at $12 million in fee income. We're about on pace right now to equal that at $6 million so far this year. Notably, in that fee income from 2020 was a substantial amount of Paycheck Protection Program loan fees, which the association was proud to be able to participate in to help during the initial phases of the pandemic that the country entered into in 2020. We don't expect those level of fees to continue, but our fee business is a good line of business, and we expect to meet budget this year. Operating expenses, that's the expenses that we pay to run the shop, so to speak. And we've been able to hold those fairly constant since 2018. 2017 was impacted by an accounting change. But we have about $40 million of expected operating expenses for 2020. We're at about $22 million this year. Some of those operating expenses have been curtailed due to the pandemic environment that we are operating in, and we certainly expect to come in under budget, which is a good thing on expenses for 2021. Net income has been strong for this association. Your board chairman referenced that, and this chart certainly shows that net income has been very strong over the last 5 years, exceeding $50 million in most of those years, all of those years. And we expect our budget in 2021 to come close to that, if not exceed that this year. You will notice the light blue line on the top is special patronage distributions that we have received from AgFirst Farm Credit Bank, our cooperative bank in Columbia, South Carolina. We have not budgeted much of that for 2021, but we do expect that we will be able to exceed that budget based upon net income year to date and where your CFO is forecasting us for the balance of the year. So 2021, from a net income standpoint, looks like it will be north of our budget, which is about $47 million. Special patronage distribution. This is a great slide and a great statistic that we are very proud of. Your board chairman, on behalf of his other board members, mentioned this in his remarks earlier. But in 2020, your association was able to make a $40 million, which was a record distribution of normal earnings, and was able to this year approve a $10 million addition to that for a total patronage distribution from AgSouth of in excess of $50 million. That's a story you should tell all of your neighbors. It's a story that we're very proud of. And again, the strength of this cooperative starts with its members. That's the source of that income to start off with, and we're proud to be able to return the lion's share of that back to our customers and member owners. In addition to that, we were able to pay crop insurance patronage for a 17th consecutive year. This totaled nearly $1.2 million, which is an additional significant impact to those customers that purchase crop insurance through AgSouth. The total patronage slides tell the story over the last 5 years, with the special patronage that AgSouth has been able to declare in 2019 and 2020. We do have a substantial increase in patronage. We can't say that that will happen forever, but we were able to do it at a key time for our customers during these pandemic operations, and put from just between those two distributions an additional $18 million into local economies and into our farmer owner-operators' pockets during these last 2 years, and we're very proud of that. The patronage program is what sets AgSouth apart from other lenders, and it is a program that we're very proud of. The cash portions that have been paid of that patronage outside of those funds that we have retained are also remarkably strong. Cash distributed in 2020 and 2021 exceeded $40 million each year. So again, a very strong performance from the patronage program, not just a program of patronage declared and retained, but checks cut to our customers have been very, very strong, and it's a story that we like to tell. AgSouth is in the 21st century, and we hope that you are able to take advantage of some of the mobile and online banking aspects of our business. Account access and Farm Credit, AgSouth Farm Credit Mobile are there for you to keep in touch with us and to keep track of your business on an ongoing basis. We also like to add additional value to our customers by blogging and providing good articles of interest that you can take and consume at your own time. Our marketing department does a great job of helping us with this and are to be commended for their extra hard work in helping share these valuable insights to you, our member borrowers. We're also available on many social media sites and our website and other places for you to catch up with us and find out what's going on at AgSouth. So we would appreciate you liking us and following us and tagging us at every opportunity you have to share the pride that you might have in AgSouth. With that, we will conclude the management remarks. We very much appreciate your business. Thank you for your attention and your attendance. I'll ask the chairman if he'll come back and conclude our meeting's business. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Pat. You can see why we're very proud of the results for AgSouth. Now, we'll have a video presentation on all of the stockholder nominations for the board of directors.
As a stockholder of your cooperative, you will participate in the election of directors and the 2022 nominating committee. After this presentation concludes, please pay close attention for specific instructions on the voting process. The AgSouth territory is divided into 4 geographic regions. This ensures that all geographic areas of the association are represented by the board of directors. This year we have 1 seat in Region 1, 2 seats in Region 2, and 1 seat in Region 3 up for election. All voting stockholders can vote for candidates in any region. Based on Association Bylaw 420.2 and action of the AgSouth Board of Directors, the 2021 nominating committee was tasked with allocating at least 2 nominees for each of the seats up for election. Region 1, Seat 1 has a 4-year term. Nominees for this seat are Arthur Black and Jeffrey Jordan. Arthur Black is the incumbent. Mr. Black is a farmer and owner of Black's Peaches. Mr. Black raises and sells peaches, strawberries, blackberries, hay, gourds, pumpkins, and participates in agritourism. Mr. Black serves as the president of Farmers Mutual Insurance, is a member of the York County Farm Bureau, the South Carolina Farm Bureau Fruit Commodity Board, and the York Investment Association. He has been a customer of AgSouth for 30 years. Jeffrey Jordan is the co-founder and COO of Progressive STEAM Initiative, an outdoor educational outreach program teaching agribusiness concepts to at-home, urban K-8 students. As COO, Mr. Jordan runs the day-to-day operations and builds and maintains corporate and community relations. Mr. Jordan is a member of the Project Management Institute and is President Emeritus of the South Carolina State Society Sons of the Revolution. He has been a customer of AgSouth for 15 years. Region 2, Seat 2 has a 4-year term. Nominees for this seat are Sean Lennon and Gregory Eisen. Sean Lennon is the incumbent. He is the owner and operator of a number of fruit growing and packaging operations. He is a board member of the Meriwether County Farm Bureau, second vice president of the National Peach Council, a board member of the Georgia Peach Council, and a member of the Georgia Fruit and Vegetable Growers Association. Mr. Lennon has been a customer of AgSouth for 10 years. Gregory Eisen is the owner of Eisen's Nursery and Vineyard, along with his sisters. Eisen's Nursery engages in retail and wholesale mail-order sales of fruit, nut, and berry vines, and operates a vineyard. Mr. Eisen is the president of the Georgia Muscadine Association. He has been a customer of AgSouth for 29 years. Region 2, Seat 3 has a 4-year term. Nominees for this seat are Wesley Ham and Michael Lauder. Wesley Ham is the president of W.C. Ham Incorporated, a contract poultry producer, alligator producer, and custom hire farm services provider offering spreading, drilling, and equipment rental to local business and individuals. Mr. Ham is also a managing partner of GAIA Marketing Group, LLC, that markets and manages data on 4,500 head of cattle in 3 states. He is also a farm manager for Sleepy Creek Farms. Mr. Ham is the young farmer chairman of the Monroe County Farm Bureau. He has been an AgSouth customer for 12 years. Dr. Michael Lauder is a large animal veterinarian in the Department of Large Animal Medicine and Surgery at the University of Georgia College of Veterinary Medicine. Dr. Lauder is also co-owner of Preferred Properties, a real estate holding company, and Preferred Veterinary Care, a provider of large animal veterinary and dental service to equine and a variety of exotic animals. He is also the owner of Red Wool Acres, a seed stock Angus producer placing bulls in South Carolina and Georgia state-sponsored bull tests and heifer development programs. He is a director and vice chairman of Walton EMC, a committee chair of the Appeals Committee for the American Veterinary Dental College, Equine, and a committee member of the Clemson University Heifer Development Program. Dr. Lauder has been a customer of AgSouth for 6 years. Region 3, Seat 1 has a 1-year term. Nominees for this seat are Pete Wall and Kenny Hicks. Pete Wall is the incumbent. Mr. Wall is the owner and operator of Pete Wall Family Farm. Mr. Wall is responsible for the daily management of beef and sheep operations. He is also an evangelist for AWIT Ministries. Mr. Wall is a director of the Southeast Georgia Cattlemen Marketing Association and is a member of the Ogeechee Cattlemen Association, the Georgia Club Lamb Producers Association, the Georgia Cattlemen Association, NCBA, and Georgia Farm Bureau. He has been an AgSouth customer for 20 years. Mr. Hicks is the owner and operator of Hicks Farms, LLC, that maintains 3 contract breeder houses for Freeze Farms, as well as grows pine trees for straw and timber. Mr. Hicks is also the president and a shareholder of T&K Hicks Contracting, that is a contractor for asphalt and concrete work. Mr. Hicks serves as Public Works Director for Evans County, Georgia. Mr. Hicks has served as the president, treasurer, and secretary of the Reedsville JCs. He has been a customer of AgSouth for 18 years. Every year, the nominating committee is responsible for reviewing the upcoming board seats for election and choosing eligible stockholders to run for those seats. Each region has 2 nominating committee members and 2 alternates, should one member be unable to fulfill their duties. Members serve a 1-year term. The following are the candidates for the 2022 nominating committee by region. Their location and agricultural commodities are included for your information. After the annual meeting, a ballot will be sent to each Class C stockholder by mail and email for those with a valid email on file with AgSouth. Biographical information on director nominees will be included with the ballot. The election polls will be closed at the end of the 20th business day following the date on which ballots are mailed. You may fill out and return your ballot in the enclosed self-addressed stamped envelope, or you may use the included login information to vote online. Your participation in the process is critical to the continued success of your cooperative. We appreciate your interest and support of your cooperative.
All right, you have seen the information on the candidates, slate of candidates submitted by the nominating committee. Now, we will open the floor for nominations at this meeting. So at this time, I will accept nominations for each director position. Only a C stockholder may make a nomination from the floor or second a nomination, and their identity must be verified. If you nominate someone or you provide a second, please state your name and your hometown that we have on record and your nominee's name. We will do these one at a time. For Region 1, Seat 1. Any nominations from the floor? For Region 2, Seat 2. Any nominations from the floor? For Region 2, Seat 3. Any nominations from the floor? Finally, for Region 3, Seat 1, any nominations from the floor? Hearing none, the slate of candidates submitted by the nominating committee will serve. The nominations for the nominating committee have been reported by Mr. Brown, committee chairman, and they were also on your recorded presentation just now. If there are any nominations from the floor to serve on the nominating committee, we will entertain those now. All right, hearing none, then we have our slate of candidates for both the board and the nominating committee for 2022. As you saw briefly in the slide presentation, voting this year will be by mail or electronic ballot. The ballot will be sent to each Class C stockholder by mail within 10 business days following today's meeting. Biographical information on each director nominee will be included with the ballot. Ballot will also include information that will allow you to vote, allow you to vote online. It's not that hard. I did it last year. Stockholders with email addresses will also be emailed ballot credentials. The election polls will be closed at the end of the 20th business day following the date on which the ballots are mailed to the voting stockholders. After the polls are closed, an independent third-party survey and ballot systems will tally the ballots. The results of the election will be mailed to the stockholders within 10 business days after the ballots are counted. I encourage you to fill out your ballot and return it or vote online so that we can continue the support and continue the success of our cooperative. Speaking for all of your board members, it is a privilege to help lead this organization. Very much appreciate your attention to today's annual meeting, and I hereby declare that the 2021 AgSouth Farm Credit Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.